Hey everyone, hope you all have a great day and enjoy these stories. If you're interested in what I look like in real life, then check out my Instagram at Joe the Insomniak, and remember check out the podcast. I'll leave the link in the description to that. Thank you for all the positive feedback on it too, I really appreciate it. And now enjoy these stories. I was a semi-driver at the time. I was at a small truck stop up in Maine. It was midwinter, cold. I was trying to get some rest before driving home. I fell asleep quickly as I've been awake for probably 29 hours, and nobody was around as far as I could tell. I slept well, until I was awoken by the sound of yelling. It wouldn't have been the first time that some idiot was being weird to a woman, so I sit up to figure out what's going on, and I see two younger guys standing with their faces against the glass staring at me. They have black clothing on. The second they notice me, they sprint off, but I fell asleep thinking I was hallucinating due to exhaustion. When I wake up the next morning, there was a head of a deer or a moose or something placed next to my truck. Blood prints in the snow leading into the woods. I still have no idea who they were or how long they've been staring at me for. About 7 years ago, I worked at a southern-style restaurant. I'm originally from Alabama, but I live in the Midwest near Chicago. I was working one day, and a man, woman, and their daughter came in to eat. I waited on them, and they're really nice. They're probably older, probably in their 60s, while their daughter's probably 30-something. They noticed my accent and stated that they're from Alabama, as well as had moved near Chicago for work. Not knowing many people in the area, it's kind of nice to have a familiar accent as it makes me feel like I'm home. After I waited on them, they left a pretty decent sized tip, so it made it all the better when they come in. Over the next few months, they started coming in a lot, and I mean a lot, probably 3 or 4 times a week, and would specifically ask to be sat in my section. They tipped well, so I don't care. They talked to me about all kinds of things, although I was very careful not to reveal any information to them. Now, they told me that they saw me driving my Jeep, and they had a present for me. They gave me a decal and said, "It's a Jeep thing." I was rather embarrassed to say the least and didn't want to put it on my car, so I didn't. Then they come in and asked me why it wasn't on the back of my Jeep. Now this is where things get strange. We're open for Easter. I was working and they come in and confronted me, asking if I wanted to go to lunch with them the following week. I hesitated but was young, about 22, and felt pressured to say yes. They asked me for my phone number, and against every instinct I had, I gave it to the dad, and it wasn't a good feeling. A couple of days later, they call me and I don't answer. I let it go to voicemail, although the dad left a minute-long voicemail rambling about this or that, wanting to meet up. They came in the next day and asked if I want to meet at the restaurant. I said, fine, thinking they're going to leave me alone after I do it this once. I was young and dumb. Upon arrival, they didn't get out of their car. They told me to get in the car and we would go to a different restaurant. I got a really bad feeling in my stomach. I knew I didn't want to get in the car with them. Instead, I said I'd meet them at the other one. The dad started begging for me to get in the car, Being polite, I said no thank you, I'ma drive. I ended up going to the restaurant in fear of me leaving and standing them up, and it affected my job. So I went to the other restaurant after the dad begged me and finally gave up. When we got to the other restaurant, he was continually talking about how he wished I would have listened, and went with him and got in the car, and was incredibly fixated on this. The daughter didn't speak, the mother didn't speak either. The whole experience was the dad telling me that he was upset I didn't get in the car with them and should have listened. Finally, I finished and left as quick as I possibly can. He said to me to get lunch again tomorrow, but I said I'm out of town. The next day, I had 10 missed calls from the dad, back to back. Each of them had a voicemail that was 3 minutes long of him just breathing, grunting and moaning. After I was terrified, I completely ignored them. Luckily they backed off and left me alone, but still come in to eat, although they didn't ask me anymore. I eventually stopped working there out of fear of seeing them again, because the other times I saw them I was too busy to actually speak to them. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I gotten into the car or if I kept on seeing them. They were not normal, and I can only assume their intentions were not good. Back when I was 18, my mum had been working in the garden, so she was exhausted and went to bed early. It was winter, so it got dark early. I knew I'd be the only one awake for the next few hours until her partner got in from working at 4 AM. I went about my usual nightly routine and get ready for bed. Now the house has 2 floors and my bedroom was on the top. After I smoke, I went upstairs and continued watching whatever. About an hour later, I decided I would have one more before going to bed. I just got finished with that one, and I'm about to head downstairs when my phone distracts me. I sat back on my bed and concentrate on that. When a minute or two elapses, I hear a loud banging from downstairs. I thought to myself, it's just my mum's partner coming home. Then seconds later I realised I didn't hear the front gate open. I didn't hear the taxi pull up outside either. And I didn't hear the front door open. My cat is on the bed next to me and it's not him. So what was that banging sound? I grabbed my taser, which looks like a Nokia phone, and stick it in my dressing gown pocket, going into my mum's room. She normally is such a light sleeper, but because she's tired from gardening, slept throughout the noise. I wake her up and tell her that I've heard something. She gets herself ready and grabs a small metal pole, and we head downstairs. I insist on going down first because, in all my fairness, my mum is like 5'6", 130 pounds, and has multiple sclerosis and is holding a flimsy metal pole. I figure it's better to tase someone. Now, looking around, everything seems to be fine. However, the last room we check is a bedroom, next to the bathroom. And there, I find that the window that sits just above the bath is wide open, and some of her shampoo bottles are on the floor. It's like 2 AM. We're really scared now, and my mum calls her partner to say something's happened and someone must have tried to break in. His response? It's probably a fox. Go to bed, you're paranoid. 5 minutes later, the police arrive with 4 cars and dogs. They look around, come into the door asking obvious questions. After doing a walk around the house, they come back again and ask the usual. saying, "Do we usually keep our plastic garden chairs under the bathroom window?" Of course we don't. The police advise us that there's a dodgy gang about that's been breaking in and attacking people, and they must have used the garden chairs to help them get in. The police also advise that a house a few streets over has just been broken into and someone was hurt. The thing that freaks me out most about it is that had I not got distracted by my phone, I would have headed straight down there at the exact same time they're in my house. A few years back, I was driving to a party with some friends from my house by myself. They lived about 30 minutes away, and it was around 10:30 and pitch black. So I'm driving down the road, and I see a man on the side of the road with a small white sack. Down the road, there's a white car with the door open. As I pull up, I roll down the window. He says his car broke down. His hair is greasy and long. He looks like a lot of residents that are in the area, farmers and mechanics, etc. So I pick him up as he wasn't much bigger than me. He's about 37. I say, "Where are you going?" and he says, "In town." And away we go. I start talking and he's a bit weird, so eventually I stop bothering to make conversation. Every so often, he shifts position and there's a clatter from the back. He said he needs to arrange a ride when he gets to town, saying, "Can I use your phone?" I give it to him, reluctantly because it's a brand new iPhone, and he calls up someone and starts saying he has some GPS for sale. His bag shifts, and I see there's radios in the bag. The broke down looking car he said he owned was a car he'd just stolen the radio from, and he's trying to sell them while we're in my car on the phone. I say, "Hey dude, when you're finished with your call, I need my phone back." Cool as a cucumber. I want to make him think I'm really stupid, and I'll take him wherever. So we get to about 10 minutes from where I'm going, and I know I have to get rid of him. So I'm like, "Hey, brother, I need to make a call really quickly so I can get in my friend's building." He reluctantly hands the phone back to me, and I make a fake call quickly and chuck it in the door pocket where he can't get it. So I ask him again since we're in town, and he says, "Whatever, you're gonna drop me off here then." I scan him quickly to see if he has a knife. So I slow down and stop when I'm satisfied he doesn't have one, and say, "Here you go dude, up the corner." He's like, "Nah man, we're gonna keep going." I finally lose a call and scream at him to get out now. He then reaches for something in his pocket, but I manage to push him out. I squall my tires and pull out of there and immediately call the police. A couple of days later, I see a piece in the paper saying they caught him and he's wanted for murder. For a bit of background, my sister and I live together in a house that our parents own. At this time, we live with two people we found off flatmates. We both still live here, but we asked the other two to move out because they seemed unfamiliar with the process of locking doors, and our personalities clashed a fair bit. For an idea about the layout of the house, my room is next to the front door. There's a kitchen and living room in the middle near the back door, and my sister's room at the back of the house. To get to the backyard, you have to either go through the back door through the house or go outside. One day, I was home on an off day, enjoying the peace and quiet of having the house to myself. I listened to music, did some cooking and treated myself to a bit of pampering. I realised I'd run out of face wash, so I went to my sister's bedroom to see if she had any. We used to have fights as a kid over who used whose makeup or whose top was whose, but I figured since we're grown adults she doesn't care. I know this information seems irrelevant, but it all makes sense. Now my sister was a manager at a restaurant, so her coming home really late or not at all was standard. Between a lot of work hours and socialising, I didn't see her that much. But on this night, she came home when I was already tucked in asleep. The next morning, I woke up to a message from her in the early hours asking if I went to her room. There I am thinking, how did she know that? So I answer yes. I was looking for the face wash. Oh, that's alright. I did ask if you were okay, but you didn't answer at all. Also, close my bedroom door next time and keep the back door locked. It was wide open this morning. So obviously, I'm completely freaked out by this message. I had only gone into her bathroom during the day when she wasn't there. I told her that I never went into the bathroom during the night. Of course, she thought I was messing around in all seriousness, but I told her this is not the case. I asked her if she knew the other two housemates were home last night, just covering all bases. She said neither of their cars were home when she got there, and they confirmed this by saying they stayed at their partners' houses that night. If it wasn't me, and it wasn't one of the others, who was sneaking around going through our house in her room? As I said earlier, the housemates had a bit of leaving the doors unlocked at night, and other weird habits. But no one was home. Since we live in an area that isn't the greatest, locking the doors has always been a thing that we double checked now. Not long after this happened, they moved out and a couple of close friends moved in. They were still really good with locking doors and making sure everything was safe. But 2 months ago, we saw a really suspicious van parked outside, and things started getting stolen. And all of these were stolen on the night that the gate to the garage wasn't locked. My house is definitely a target for creepers.